People who have no hold over their process of thinking are likely to be ruined by liberty of thought. The alchemist of the West has turned stone into glass, but my alchemy has transmuted glass into flint. Pharaohs of today have stalked me in vain. My ancestors were Brahmins. They spent their lives in search of God. I am spending my life in search of man. The new world is as yet behind the veil of destiny. In my eyes, however, its dawn has been unveiled. From love's plectrum arises the song of the string of life. Love is the light of life. Love is the fire of life. Azan yet sounds, but never now, like Bilal's soulfully. Philosophy, convictionless, now mourns its Ghazali. Failure is not fatal until we surrender. Trying again is the key of glorious victory. It is the mysterious touch of the ideal that animates and sustains the real, and through it alone we can discover and affirm the ideal. The heart is like a mirror. Do not prevent it from being broken. Its breakage is more dearer in the sight of its maker, Allah, than its safety. Almighty Allah being indeed the maker. I have seen the movement of the sinews of the sky, and the blood coursing in the veins of the moon. But only a brief moment is granted to the brave, one breath or two, whose wage is the long nights of the grave. For centuries Eastern heart and intellect have been absorbed in the question, does God exist? I propose to raise a new question, new, that is to say, for the East, does man exist? I am but as the spark that gleams for a moment. His burning candle consumed me, the moth. His wine overwhelmed my goblet. The master of rum transmuted my earth to gold and set my ashes aflame. If one cannot live the life of the brave, then it is better to die like the brave. Life is a struggle and not a matter of privilege. It is nothing but one's knowledge of the temporal and the spiritual world. Nations are born in the hearts of poets. They prosper and die in the hands of politicians. Democracy is a system where people are counted, not weighed. I tell you the sign of a believer: when death comes, there's a smile on his lips. Words without power is mere philosophy. It is absolutely certain that God does exist. The wing of the falcon brings to the king the wing if the crow brings him to the cemetery. I tell the truth, your enemy is also your friend. His presence makes your life fuller and richer. The ultimate aim of the ego is not to see something, but to be something. It is true that we are made of dust, and the world is also made of dust, but the dust has motes rising. When the thinking of a people becomes corrupt, the pure silver becomes impure in its hands. The man of love follows the path of God and shows affection to both the believer and the non-believer. A community receives light from its history. It becomes aware of itself by remembrance of its history. Man is primarily governed by passion and instinct. If faith is lost, there is no security and there is no life for him who does not adhere to religion. A wrong concept misleads the understanding. A wrong deed degrades the whole man and may eventually demolish the structure of the human ego. Everything that possesses life dies if it has to live in uncongenial surroundings. When truth has no burning, then it is philosophy. When it gets burning from the heart, it becomes poetry. Failure is not fatal until we surrender. Trying again is the key of glorious victory. The ultimate aim of the ego is not to see something, but to be something. Words without power is mere philosophy. Vision without power does bring moral elevation but cannot give a lasting culture. The thought of a limit to perceptual space and time staggers the mind. But inner experience is only one source of human knowledge. People who have no hold over their thinking process are likely to be ruined by liberty of thought. From your past emerges the present, and from the present is born your future. Human intellect is nature's attempt at self-criticism. Rise above sectional interests and private ambitions. Pass from matter to spirit. The matter is diversity. The spirit is light, life and unity. Islam is itself destiny and will not suffer destiny. God is not a dead equation. Thou art not for the earth, nor for the heaven. The world is for thee. Thou art not for the world. Become dust, and they will throw thee in the air. Become a stone, and they will throw thee on glass. If the object of poetry is to make men, then poetry is the air of prophecy. Sexual self-restraint is only a preliminary stage in the ego's evolution. I, therefore, demand the formation of a consolidated Muslim state in the best interest of India and Islam. Plants and minerals are bound to predestination. The faithful is only bound to the divine orders. The scientific observer of nature is a kind of mystic, seeker in the act of prayer. Why hast thou made me born in this country, the inhabitant of which is satisfied with being a slave? Divine life is in touch with the whole universe, on the analogy of the soul's contact with the body. Unbeliever is he who follows predestination even if he be Muslim. Faithful is he if he himself is the divine destiny. Though the terror of the sea gives to none security in the secret of the shell, self-preserving, we made well. Why should I ask the wise men, whence is my beginning? I am busy with the thought, where will be my end. Physiologically less violent and psychologically more suitable to a concrete type of mind. Conduct, which involves a decision of the ultimate fate of the agent, cannot be based on illusions. Art, if the object of poetry is to make men, then poetry is the air of prophecy. I have never considered myself a poet. I have no interest in poetic artistry. It is the mysterious touch of the ideal that animates and sustains the real, and through it alone we can discover and affirm the ideal. That is why, according to this newer psychology, Christianity has already fulfilled its biological mission, and it is impossible for the modern man to understand its original significance. Ends and purposes, whether they exist as conscious or subconscious tendencies, form the rap and woof of our conscious experience. Since love first made the breast an instrument of fierce lamenting, by its flame my heart was molten to a mirror. Like a rose I pluck my breast apart, that I may hang this mirror in your sight. Yet higher religion, which is only a search for a larger life, is essentially experience and recognize the necessity of experience as its foundation long before science learned to do so.